90.5 FM is WUOG Athens, and you are listening to a pre-recorded episode of D90.5, WUOG's own Dungeons & Dragons broadcast. Alright, we're back, guys. Welcome.
Thank God.
Hey.
Welcome.
I
Good to be back.
I should start by asking, did you guys all level up your characters like I said to?
Yes, I did.
I don't like the sounds. I don't like these
Guys,
sounds.
That's the
Leveling
That's the
up is so
sound of
much
the-
fun.
I'm questioning
Yeah,
whether
it's so
I should have
great. I'd
started
love to do it.
recording.
Don't
No,
worry about
leveling up is so much fun because you get to look at all the new stuff you get to do, and I just enjoy it.
I mean,
That's why I did it.
I did
Do y'all-
level up,
Do
indeed.
you want to hear what I got? I got a new spell or two, and then slightly better at performing. That's kind of all I got going on.
Nice.
That's very cool.
Yeah, man. I got new dice.
So
So,
hey, what's up, Kenan?
what do you mean?
Tell us about it.
How's it?
Well,
Yeah,
right
how's
now,
everybody doing on this fine?
I'm
this
doing
fine
all
day?
right. You guys, however, have just fought a troll because last time on D90.5, a band of unlikely adventurers met in a tavern, found employment temporarily at a local vineyard, and after conversing with some of the local leaders, as well as the tavern keep, with whom under whose roof you're staying, there seemed to be some sort of commotion. As you were about to go check out the local theater, a very concerned and panicked man, dwarvish, kind of maybe about 4 feet tall, balding on top with a thick black beard, came rushing down the mountain, telling you of how his daughter, the little girl who had given you a copper piece for your performance in the market district just a day prior, Mishiro, had been taken by a troll. Seeking help, you took up his call and, by his lead, followed into the forest atop the mountain, where after a while of tracking, you came upon the not camp, not cave, the house of a troll. A fairly cordial one at that, well-spoken, well-dressed for a troll, in a house, humble in make, though scaled up to accommodate the troll's hulking size of maybe about 15 feet or so.
Big boy.
And after passing yourselves off as various holy men, ironically, neither of who did so was the actual holy man. You gained entry into the troll's home, and attempted to rescue the little girl, but not before Burroughs was stuck to a chair and taken down into the basement/cage in which the hostage was already being kept. And then, hostaged yourself, you relied on the assistance of Hitoitsu to get you out, while Mishiro single-handedly held off the troll. After escaping your cage,
you say I killed him in his own home.
After escaping your
Breaking
cage,
it into
Burroughs, you and Hitoitsu came back up to the upstairs and assisted Mishiro in dispatching the troll, who, during the fight, seemed to become a little unnerved by something. You're not sure what. And then after, with a final shot from Burroughs, the troll fell dead, and there was a knock at the door, which had been closed behind you in an effort to keep you inside the house. And the door swung open, and in walked a half-elven woman of palish skin with sandy blonde hair that kind of goes down in a braid over one shoulder, in very fine-looking robes. You had seen this woman before, as when the crowd had kind of gathered at the edge of town, as a dwarvish man came rushing back down, seeking your help, you had seen this woman standing upon the doorstep of a house that was somewhat separate from the rest of the town, narrow and tall. And she came in and said, "Oh, well, that was unexpected. I'd like to talk to you three." And that's where we're picking up.
All right. We're just is the corpse visible from the doorway?
Yes, she is looking directly at the troll corpse.
Cool. So there's
our guilt is pretty evident.
I'd say so, Will. Just unless you want to try to convince her otherwise.
Well, let's see. I do have a +7 in persuasion.
+7. I got
+7.
Do you want to try to lie to her?
Is it worth it? I mean, we don't know what she wants. Hello, you're looking to talk to us three? You have us.
You rang.
So it would seem. But yes, my name is Fenrir Mears, and who are you?
I am Michero, local town performer.
Right.
Pleased to meet you, ma'am. I believe I noticed you back in the city.
Yes, I believe I did see you. Frankly...
What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
What brings you out to such an exotic destination as this?
I was expecting to collect your remains, if I'm going to be completely frank with you.
Oh, an opportunist, I see.
No, just to dispatch the troll where you presumably would have failed, but it would seem that you did a well enough job saving that little girl on your own. Speaking of which, where is she?
I
Is
believe
she still
she
down in the
was still
basement?
downstairs, yeah.
And as she says this, you hear kind of like a bit of a scramble from the staircase. As the stairs are disproportionately sized to accommodate a creature of a troll size, this little dwarvish girl is having some difficulty getting up these stairs. And after about a minute or so, she emerges from the basement. "Hi, thanks for coming to save me. Where's my dad?"
That's what we do.
What her name is Scansion, right?
Her name was Skensha, Skensha.
Okay. Skinsha, dear, I believe your father is right outside, right along the tree line. You can't miss him. We will occupy, or we will walk you out shortly here after we finish up our business with our good lady here. You didn't want us dead, did you? Like, you hadn't planned on it?
No, I didn't want you dead. I just was expecting you to die, because trolls are nasty little blighters, aren't they?
Yes.
Little interesting choice of word, but yes.
This one was more civilized. He had layers to him like an onion.
What an interesting comparison. Though you're not wrong, trolls aren't necessarily want to wear clothes. So here, I'm gonna... Give me a moment. And this woman goes over to the corpse of the troll, looks at it for a second. Then she retrieves from like a pouch at her side a small piece of amber that she places on the ground and takes out some chalk and begins to draw like a circle sort of diagram on the floor around the corpse of the troll. And then after about 5 minutes, she snaps her fingers, and the cadaver just disappears.
Oh, okay. Well.
And then she goes over to that piece of amber she placed up on the floor and retrieves it.
Well, where's he off to?
I was just gonna keep a hold of him. I got someone who'd like to ask him a few questions, if you understand.
No, no, I don't. He's
Is he
rather
dead?
dead.
Don't worry too much about it. And she places the ember in her pouch again.
Now, hold up a second. Dead things are supposed to stay dead.
And dead he
I
will
am
stay, I
pretty
assure
set
you.
on that.
Dead he will
Okay,
stay, I assure you.
Not no zombie undead type stuff, right?
No.
All right, go on.
But for now, let's get this one back to a pub, yeah?
Um,
Yep.
well, if you excuse me, ma'am, 1 second. Who are you taking this to? I'm just struck with a sort of curiosity.
I've got my mentor that I'm planning on taking this to. And if you would be so kind, I'd like you to accompany me to meet him, as we would appreciate your insight into the nature of this troll.
Well, of course. I would be happy to do so. My friends here, I'm sure, have question of pay for protection.
Pay?
That is what I was going to ask. Exactly.
For
I know my friends.
pay for what?
Well, how far away is your friend? If it's a long journey, we wouldn't mind being of some
No,
protection.
he's literally just in the house in town.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, in that case, we will happily accompany you for free.
All right. I mean, okay, sure. All right, let's just go. And the door having already been swung open, she begins to walk back toward it and out back into the clearing.
I think I'm gonna
Well, should
take.
we,
The little dwarvish girl, Skensha, actually kind of sidles up to you, Mishiro, and like kind of just stands next to you very closely because you're the most familiar face to her at this present moment.
Okay. I think I'm gonna offer out like a hand, like in a sort of like nice fatherly way, like I'll take care of you.
All right, she takes your hand, and you guys lead her and go back out of the house.
Okay. I think as we're leaving, I'm gonna mention to our new friend Fenris the fear or the strange apprehension that the troll had at the end of his life.
Apprehension, you say?
Mm-hmm.
We can get into that when we get back. That sounds interesting, though. That may be something we need to know.
All right.
Where's this one's dad?
Well, last we left him, he was right at this clearing here.
right at the tree line, right?
Yep. And I call out for Kogar.
And from the bushes, there's a bit of a rustle, and he just pops his head up. He's like, "Where?
Look who we found.
Oh my God! All right, come here!" And Skensha and Kogar begin running toward each other, and they give each other a hug.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
and he says, thank you so much for helping us. Where's did you kill it?
Oh, yeah, dead. Very dead.
Very dead.
All right.
However, if any of your townspeople are in need of some free housing, might I suggest that lovely little cottage over there?
I guess it looks might be a bit large.
Right, but it's pretty empty now. I'm sure you could make some accommodations.
True, but yeah, let's. Hey, come on, Skensha, let's go home. Yeah, okay. And they begin walking back the way you came, down the mountain.
Farewell.
Bye, Skinsha. Bye, Kogar. Have an excellent journey.
You know, we're going the same way, right? As they are.
Yeah, I was gonna
This
say
is
out loud
awkward.
and pointedly, God, father-daughter reunion. How could you put a price on that? But maybe you could try.
Well, no. Well, this seems like a good deed. This is our good deed for the week.
For
But maybe you could try.
what are you guys on about?
Burroughs wants payment.
Burroughs wants payment.
Oh, I see. Make a persuasion check.
I can do that. Let's see. That's gonna be a 19.
19.
Oh man.
You're gonna shake down this dad who just lost his
Why?
kid.
Oh,
He
wait,
didn't lose
who
his
are
kid,
you-
He got his
who-
kid back.
Who are you talking to, actually?
Well, they were walking away, and I said out loud and pointedly in their direction, "God, father-child reunion. How could you put a price on that? But maybe you could try."
All right, I'm gonna roll a perception check to see if the man actually heard you, because he's gotten a bit of a distance from you, and that's a no.
Such is life.
So he pays you no mind.
Wait, I'd actually like to cast a spell.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to cast deafness on Kogar so he doesn't hear us.
How could you do this to me?
That's a con save, right?
Selectively us. Yep, he's got to make a Constitution saving throw of 12,
He
but
fails.
just one ear. Yeah, he can't hear us. All right, cool.
Is he
I
gonna
guess-
be deaf for the rest of his life?
I guess he can't hear at all
Yeah.
either.
That's right.
no.
You disfigured a man.
Oh my
I just
God.
wanted money, and you just for his whole life, man.
Like and as you cast the spell, he disappears from view.
Wait, how far away is he?
Like not too far, but like he's walking on like the forest path, and like he's taking a turn down the mountain, and so like you're losing visibility.
If you could assign a like sort of metric of distance to it, how far would you guess?
60 feet.
Oh, it's too far. Can't do it.
Unfortunate.
Oh,
He's never gonna hear his daughter talk again.
no, he didn't get deafened. He was too far.
Can't believe you.
So-
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Will, did you want to shake down the man who was just reunited for money? Like, I don't want to run over your thing.
Well,
here.
he's too far away now. It was kind of like I'm not gonna follow him. I'm not desperate.
Well, like you said, we are going to the same place.
Are we just gonna follow them to their house?
Well, I mean, assuming that, so generally we have longer legs than them, so presumably we're going at a faster pace than them, which means we'll probably overtake them. So when we do that, I will simply repeat my question.
Okay, Ben Shapiro. All right.
Sorry about that.
Hypothetically, I guess we're just gonna walk and talk with
Follow
Fenris.
this mysterious
unless-
yeah,
Yeah,
mysterious half-elf
And
lady.
it's Fenrir, by the way.
Fenrir. Fenrir. Okay.
Fenrir.
Fenria. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Fenrio.
Pleasure. Did I ever get your names? I know you're Mishiro. The
yes.
other two.
Well, I'm a Hito Itsu. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
And I'm Bros.
Of course.
The one named Burrows doesn't have a shovel. What the one who does is named He Tweets.
Sometimes I might yell Gravedigger. It just depends.
How ironic. Alright, so we're going back to that tall house. You know the one? Follow me.
Yes. Okay, we do.
Okay. And you follow her, and she leads you back through the trail that you came to get here, and down the mountain again. It takes you about less time than it took you to get here, because you actually know which way you're going this go around, and you're not tracking a creature through the wilderness. But you do eventually, after maybe about 3 hours, make your way back down into the town. And by this point, it's about maybe... Yeah, it's about five in the afternoon. So it's getting pretty close to evening. A lot of people have kind of vacated the streets to either go home or to a tavern or something to that effect. But you don't see but you don't see either Kogar or Skinsha. As you come back into town, you figure they beat you here. But as you approach the town, on your left there is kind of separate in construction from the rest of the house, from the rest of the building. The rest of the city, excuse me, is this very narrow, very tall house. Like, when I say narrow, I mean maybe about 20 feet across, it seems, and there's only like one door on the center stoop. You can't see in through any of the windows either. But as you approach, Fenrir comes up to it, knocks 3 times, and opens the door, and she enters in. Come on in.
All right. I guess we follow her in, unless.
Then in we go.
All right. You follow her in, and you enter into a very large atrium. There is too large, it seems, to have actually fit into this house from what you could have seen from the outside. There is this atrium. There's a place to hang your hats and your coats and such. But then on the left, there's another door that presumably leads further into this house. And gotcha. You see Fenrir go to that door, open it, and then go into that next room.
So we follow her, right?
Yeah.
And in through that door, you are led into a vast, towering walls just lined with books. This grand library and study kind of thing. There are chairs that are centered around coffee tables and other sorts of just general kind of almost like a lounge, except with way more books. There are those library ladders that that are on the rolling tracks leaned up against the walls, and there's a massive stained glass window at the far end of this study that depicts what appears to be a number of people just stood in a circle, and all of whom are bound together by some kind of string of some kind.
Okay.
Welcome to the Tool House.
So, Fenrir, what did you Thank you. What did you want to show us?
Well, I mean, it's not that I wanted to show you anything. It's more that I just wanted to talk to you about your encounter with this troll. Do follow me. And she goes kind of she's facing the way you came in, and she takes a right and goes into and opens another door. And if you follow her through, there are blast marks on the walls and the floors, and other kinds of and a lot of this room's taken a beating, it would seem. But she reaches into her pouch, pulls out that bit of amber, tosses it on the floor, and it shatters, and the troll corpse just spills out onto the floor.
Oh.
So just a big pile of troll corpses, huh?
Gruesome.
Yeah. That's nasty.
I mean, it's still in one piece.
But it is a corpse.
It is still a troll corpse, yes.
With the man bun.
Yes. And she says, "All right, just stay here for a second. I'm gonna go get Holly, and we'll be right back. Okay?"
Well, okay. And then I sort of kick at the corpse to make sure that it's not moving.
All right, you do so, and she leaves the room.
All right. Is there a
Fellas,
nice
how do you
like?
feel about all this?
To be completely honest, skeptical.
Uh, Kind of intimidating considering I feel like I know my way around some arcane arts, and I feel very out of my league. Very, very, very intimidated.
Yep, that's about where I'm at. Except mine is the arcane arts knowledge.
I'm simply gonna sit on this couch over here and hang out.
All right. Is there
What?
anything anyone would like to do, or are
Yeah.
you guys just
What
gonna?
would what would I have to do to like I
Um,
guess look around the room to see if I notice anything like a perception check or something like
Yeah,
that,
that'd be a
right?
perception check to see what this
I
room's
would also
about.
like to do that.
All right, make
I
perception
I-
rolled
checks.
an 8.
It's a D20, right?
Yes.
Um, I got a 14.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
go ahead.
Burrows.
I got an 8.
8. All right. Looking around the room, Burrows, you don't really notice anything in particular that stands out as different or interesting, aside from the fact that this room, compared to the house as you saw from the outside, does not seem as though it would fit. But
Some like a
but
artists.
Hitoitsu, looking around, you do take note of like the faded blast marks that are on like the kind of painted white walls and ceilings and floor of this room. And it seems, and from what you gather, it looks as though someone was maybe just testing spells of some kind.
Yeah, can I make an Arcana check?
Yes, you may.
All right.
For what in particular?
I guess I can't like ascertain like the good or evil of the magic. I guess just like residual. Is there anything currently active in the room?
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
I rolled a 16.
16. The nature of this magic is unclear, though you have heard of instances of though you do know of like instances of like things being larger on the inside than on the outside. A bag of holding being a very common example. And you have heard of buildings that have similar enchantments to them. But as for the nature of this magic, it's not really clear what it is. Anything active at the moment, you don't sense anything.
I think I'm just gonna convey what I know, and then I'm gonna warn you, fellas. I don't have anything to back this up, but I feel like there might be some necromancy going on. That's just me, but
I'm pretty sure I said from the beginning of the journey I had a one rule, and dead things need to stay dead. So if there's any type of that, we're gonna either have to fight or leave. Up to you.
totally agree. Do not like the dead not staying dead. Hope he stays dead. And I point at the troll.
Yeah, I'm a fan of dead things staying dead. Yep. I feel like we're all on the same page about that.
Indeed.
Glad we all agree on something.
And you hear from the door you came in through, and Fenria appears again, but this time she is followed by a maybe about 2.5 foot tall halfling man, who I'm trying to think of a good way to describe him, because the robes he wears are kind of tattered, but almost in an intentional way. He's got like big brownish eyes, and his hair is very frizzed out and kind of wild looking. And behind
Like
him is a tall, maybe about not very old, but maybe about early 60s looking human man, who's got a long gray beard that's got two like braids going through it, who wears this black overcoat and other kinds of like just darkly colored attire. He's got an eye patch over his left eye, and he takes off his hat and places it on a table that is on the side there. and like hung in the brim is like a singular sprig of holly. And he comes in and he says, "Well, I take it that you are the three that killed the troll."
Yes, sir. That is us. And you happen to be?
Arbitrage Hackle Holly, at your service. But you can just call me Holly. So, I'm told that this troll was living in a house, and that you, upon invading, killed it, saved one of the village folk. Is there anything that you think I should need to know before I ask it the questions I need to ask?
Well, before you get into that, sir, I'm just
It had
very
a magic
confused.
chair that trapped you when you sat in it.
Magic chair. Interesting.
How are you going to ask it these questions?
A simple spell. Nothing too crazy. I'm just going to put the breath of life back into its lungs temporarily and ask it the questions that I need answers to.
Sir,
sir, my friend here, he has a certain distaste for the undead.
Me too. Don't get me
there's-
wrong. But it's not. It's still dead. It's still dead. But more. I'm trying to think of how best to describe this. It's not being reanimated. I'm just asking the remnants of its memory to present themselves.
As long as he doesn't stand up and move around, I feel a little bit better. How does that feel to you, Hitoitsu?
I'm gonna go stand as far away from this as possible. Probably close my eyes and just pretend nothing's happening. And I guess for this one instance, I'll try to let it slide.
Well, if it makes you
And then I
uncomfortable,
get
I
up
don't
and
want
I'll
you.
walk away.
If it makes you uncomfortable, I wouldn't be so baseless to have you watch. But it's just a common procedure that I need to get out of the way so that I can actually get the information I need.
Well, it sounds like we're all set. You may proceed, sir. Thank you.
Yes. All right. One moment. And he goes over to the troll corpse and places his hand kind of on the creature's forehead, and you hear him say, and the troll corpse, you hear it take a singular breath in, but it does not move. Okay. So, what kind of things do you? Here's a question. Do you have any questions for the troll before I get to this?
I have one.
Shoot.
Mr. Troll, sad to meet on these circumstances, but towards the end of your life, you seem to be afraid of something. May I ask what?
All right. What were you afraid of toward the end of your existence? And the troll begins to speak. I couldn't heal myself like I usually could. Huh. It would appear. Interesting. A troll having lost its ability to regenerate. Fascinating. Alright. How did you come across that house? The same way I got my furniture, my clothes. And how did you get those things? The hooded woman. I didn't see her face. Did this woman tell you anything else? that she could give me a gift in exchange for something. I didn't know what it'd be. Do you know where this woman came from? No. And as the last question is asked, the breath leaves the body of the troll, and it is once again dead on the ground, as it always was.
Huh.
Intriguing. So, troll slayers. Was there anything he said there that struck you as particularly interesting? Anything that, in your experience, you saw in your expedition?
Well, I don't
Well, I'm
remember
certainly
any
interested
hooded
in-
woman. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm certainly interested in finding out more about her.
As am I. It's not every day you see a troll that has lost its regenerative abilities. Typically, after it's sustained injuries, wounds close very quickly for these creatures. But the fact that it had lost that ability is intriguing indeed, and perhaps the very reason you're still standing.
Well, sounds like we caught quite a break, but I have a feeling this wasn't luck.
No. Luck, I doubt. There's something, it would appear the creatures made a bargain of some kind. And such bargains are dangerous. And the entities that offer such bargains are even more so. This will have to...
Well, has there... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Has there been any rumor of any woman that matches this description around town or in the area?
Well, believe it or not, the hooded woman is not the most descriptive of pictures.
Not wrong.
Any sort of woman that deals with trolls? Have there been any rumors of women that deal with trolls, or I guess any sort of sorcerer folk that deals with trolls?
Sorcerer folk. No. Though I had dispatched Fenrir to deal with this creature. But it would appear that you beat her to the punch. I like you guys. What are your names?
I'm Mishiro, the bard.
Well, I could tell by the loot at your side. And you?
Well, I am a Hito Itsu, just a humble grave digger.
Of course. And I do apologize for perhaps offending your philosophy on the matter of the dead. But I do believe that conversation was very insightful.
I guess sometimes the ends are worth the results. However the saying goes.
And you, sir?
All right, I'm Burrows. Hello.
Well, it's good to meet you. So, you've healed the troll. Kudos. I would be remiss to not invite you to stay for dinner.
I would appreciate a meal. I did sustain a few wounds during our conflict. I meant to ask, have you come across any other trolls like this recently?
No, trolls are known to inhabit this mountain, but we do keep track of them when they do air close to the city. However, this one is a very peculiar case indeed. I've not seen a troll wear clothes before. Not to this extent anyway. So it is an anomaly, to say the least.
Well, we can put that aside for now. I'm famished.
I could eat.
All right, do follow me. And he leads you back out into the grand library and to a door over to the left, where upon entering you see a dining room table, very very like nicely set, with plates and silverware and and candles that have been hung around the room, with exactly 6 chairs lined on either side.
Okay.
Well,
Take a
do feel
seat.
free to take your seat. And what is it you like for dinner?
Oh, just anything.
Well, that's very
Um,
specific.
a nice hearty beef stew.
Ooh. But yes, what is it you'd like for dinner? We've got beef stew, of course.
Did you
That's
seafood?
We can literally do anything you'd like.
Well, I heard in a far off land of a dish called sliders, small bits of ground up, sort of mushed up beef, cooked and served between slices of bread, usually with an excellent side.
Oh yes, I've heard those are big up in Perioptiki. Yeah, I can do that.
They call them steamed clams.
Okay.
And
I've been known to enjoy a steamed clam myself.
They look oddly like the one from the tavern down the street, the Krusty Tavern.
well,
They can
if
make
everybody's getting steamed clams, I'll get steamed clams as well.
I must say, Michelle, you're an odd fellow, but you'd recommend a good steamed ham, steamed clam.
We'll say no
steamed
more.
clam.
And Holly snaps his fingers, and nothing happens. And he says, "Well, go on, take your seat." And he pulls out a chair and sits down. And Fenria and the halfling man, they sit on either side of him, on the chairs furthest from the door, leaving you guys, the 3, lined up across from them.
Oh, I take a seat, but not before I point out the aurora borealis coming from the kitchen.
May I see it?
Yes, of course. And the door to the kitchen
God.
swings open, and you do actually see like this sort of weird display of lights therein. And from this light, you are able to make out like the countertops and the stove, and you do hear sounds being made in the kitchen of like things being cooked. But from this light, there emerge floating platters of beef stew, of other kinds of like these little strange beef patty sandwiches that are brought out in very very like arranged kind of ways. There are buckets of steamed clams, complete with like the little vice that you use to crack them open, and as well as like an assortment of seafood and other kinds of things. And the platters just lay themselves down on the table in front of you, and he says, "Well, by all means, help yourself."
Can I roll
Michelle-
perception on the food to make sure there's nothing weird with it?
Sure.
It's gonna be a 17.
17. It looks like normal food.
Fantastic. Let's dig in.
Yeah, Michiro is blindly trusting and is probably already down 3 sliders at this point, because he was messed up and does need some food.
And you guys all enjoy a meal, very finely prepared, and seemingly, and you're not sure by who, but after you're done, your plates rise up on their own and file back into the kitchen in a floating kind of manner. So,
Oh,
have you guys
wow!
got
Look at that.
have you guys got any
Looks
place to stay
delicious.
for the night?
Um, well, we were staying at the local tavern. However, if you're offering, I sure wouldn't mind.
Not at all. Just
I wouldn't mind an upgrade.
no, whenever you're ready, just go over to the door opposite this one, across the study. Hold onto the door handle for about 3 seconds, then open it.
Oh, fancy.
You'll find a room waiting
Uh,
for you.
Well, thank you very much, sir. And to what do we owe the pleasure?
Nothing much. You killed the troll. You helped me gain some very valuable information. I'm just call it just payment.
I will gladly do so.
I'll accept
Um,
that.
And Mishera is exhausted, so I think he's gonna
Technically, you're not
finish
because you
up.
don't have a point of exhaustion.
Nice.
Oh, okay, yes, not the status effect. Mishera is feeling antisocial. His battery is drained, so to speak. So he's going to wrap up the conversation politely and go to bed.
Oh, I do hope you enjoyed the meal. I've got some business to attend to.
Oh,
Hmm?
it was ravishing, beautiful. Thank you. Is there anything else we can help you with for the day?
Not today. Fenrir, you get, could you, please get the corpse out of the training room? Yes, yeah, I can do that. Fantastic, thank you. I have to go up to the observatory. Right. And Ernest, what is it you need to do? Oh, I'm just gonna go research some of it. It's, hooded figures and the like. Folklore around these parts couldn't hurt, I don't suppose. No, you're not wrong. Well, have at it. And good night to you three. I've got some business to attend to. Good night.
Good night.
And
Good
they
night.
each get up and they
You
go.
must excuse me, I've grown quite weary.
They each get up and go their separate ways. Holly goes to a door at the far end of the study. The halfling man, who you figure is named Ernest, begins hiking himself up on these library ladders. And Fenrir goes back into the training room in which you questioned the troll, leaving you to your devices. What is it you do?
I think I go to bed. I don't have any reason to suspect anything or investigate.
I agree.
Yeah, I can take a rest of some sort, of some length.
All right.
Yeah, I would like a long one if needed, if available.
Okay. So you guys, following the direction of your hosts, you go across the study and to the door opposite the dining room, and you hold the door handle and you open it, and there is, you don't see anything. It's just a wall on the other side. But remembering the instructions, you close it again, hold on to the doorknob for about 3 seconds, open it, and then on the other side you see a room complete with a vanity and a wash and a wash bowl and three beds that are arranged around the room.
Oh, it's slumber party.
This is just like this is just like where I used to sleep.
Oh, tell us about it. I don't think I know a thing about you.
It's nothing special. It's nothing noteworthy. I'm real tuckered out. I think we should all go to sleep.
All right, I'll accept that.
You must excuse me. I'm grown quite weary.
I have not grown weary, the status effect, but weary, the tired. So I'm gonna go climb in bed.
Would anybody like to be tucked in?
Oh, please. Do you
I'd
have
take
any
a tuck,
spare?
Yeah.
Do you have any spare forehead kisses, please?
For the homies.
For the homie.
I was gonna say that maybe you're not that close, but we just did murder someone, so I guess
That
I can
I
give
will
some
say,
more-
Please,
nothing brings a group together like killing someone together.
If
Without
you're
having
not
any experience
comfortable,
doing that.
if you're not comfortable, I understand. You can below me a kiss. I will accept that.
I then proceed to tuck them both in, and kiss the
Aw.
homies goodnight.
Aw.
Oh,
I get out of bed and then tuck him in bed.
it's a vicious cycle.
Michero gets back into bed, and then Michero gets back into bed after doing that, and I say, "Oh, Michero, did you forget something?"
Sit him on the head, and then get back in bed.
Okay.
And then my patron comes down and tucks me in bed and then kisses me on the head. And that's it. I think we're going to bed.
All right. You go to bed, and soon enough, these beds are very comfortable.
Oh.
This room doesn't have any like you look outside. There is a window in this room, and you look outside, but you just see an expanse of stars. Like, you don't see the outside. You don't see what you presume would have been the outside of this house. You see just an open, endless expanse of distant stars and blackness, and the blackness of space. It looks like, anyway.
How
Oh.
unusual.
That's strange.
A strange fellow, but he steams a mean ham.
And soon enough, sleep finds
hear it.
each of you. And
Yeah, and I hear as I fall asleep, Seymour, the house is on fire!
It's just the Northern Lights, Holly.
Help!
Holly, the house is on fire! No, not to worry, Ernest. It's just the Northern Lights. And soon enough, in these very comfy beds, sleep finds a lot of you. Though, Hitoitsu, would you please join me in the next chat down? So, Hitoitsu, you dream once again, and tonight you find yourself standing in much the same place as you did the night previous. You find yourself standing in this endless cathedral whose rows of pews go back into the distance, and whose columns tower overhead. You see again the altar upon which is laying this very small, very petite figure, maybe about 2 feet tall, covered in a veil.
Okay. Can I do a perception check?
Yes, you may.
Right. It is a 17.
17. Looking around, you approach the altar, and you look over the figure that lays there, and you turn around and you see, sat in the first row of the pews, a figure that wasn't there before. This tall, bluish complexioned man with a bald head, who wears this kind of toga like attire. And he says, "So, you're the one she's been talking about. You've tired her out, you know."
Who is this her that you're speaking of, sir?
"That one there," he says, nodding to the altar.
Well, you're gonna have to explain a lot of this to me, because I'm just going as it comes along right now.
Of course. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Believe you me, I have just as many. So yours will be answered in time.
Well, who are you? Can you answer that for me?
I am not sure.
So you don't know who you are, but you know who she is, and you know who I am.
I do know who she is. I know who you are. But who I am is a more complicated question. I lack identity. I am holy.
No relation to Holly. I'm sorry, that's just a
Not
little
to my
joke to
knowledge.
sort of clear my nervous system. Uh,
Not to my
Not as
knowledge.
funny when you laugh, sir. Uh, so can you explain a little more about what I'm supposed to be doing here?
Do? I can't say there's much to do. Not here, anyway.
So
Since the Father
am
of Death laid her here, there hasn't ever been much to do.
the father of death. Uh, all right. There's a lot of
Make a
stuff going
religion
on
check.
right now. Okay.
With advantage.
Um, 17 and a 1.
You recognize the name Father of Death.
Okay.
It is an epithet, another name for Ulhijar, god of murder and treachery.
Oh. Oh.
He was the husband of Almitra, who, upon his murder of her, Death itself, the Undertaker, emerged from her spilled blood, and he placed her upon an altar.
Okay, well, a lot is coming back to my remembrance. So, if I'm to get this right, that person over there is Almitra,
The very same.
and what does Almitra have to do with me?
Well, you are one of her devoted, are you not?
Indeed, but it's just there's been no direction up to this point.
Well, I found with mortals, they find more out about themselves the longer they live.
So, the best advice that you have for me right now is to not die.
Well, that's good advice no matter how you spin it.
Fair
But
enough, part.
I don't have many answers. You are something that has not been seen in a very long time.
I feel like that's been said to me before. Well, if you don't have any idea what I'm supposed to be doing, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, I guess the most logical choice of action is to keep living until something happens.
Couldn't hurt.
Uh, well,
But I
fair.
think from now on, I'll be watching over you. Just to make sure.
Well, you don't seem like a bad person, so to say, but it would sure make things a lot more pleasant for me if I did at least have a name for the person watching me every day.
I'm afraid I don't have such a thing.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna just call you the stranger with a brilliant laugh. How about that?
Well, thank you very much. I think I'll take that. But for now, I think it's about time you woke up. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so.
Good. And he stands from the pew, and his middle finger thumps you on the forehead, and you wake up. Anyway,
Welcome back to D90.
well,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you are listening to a pre-recorded episode of D90.5, WUOG's own Dungeons and Dragons broadcast. Welcome, everyone. So
Yeah,
you
so
all
we-
wake up in the house of Arbitrage Hackle Holly. In the beds being the same as they were, very comfortable indeed. Though when you look out that window before, the night sky that you were seeing has not changed.
Oh.
That's odd.
Mishera rolls over.
Should we try and leave the room, fellas? As we all woke up at the same time, I'm assuming.
No, Mishera actually woke
Perfectly in
up.
sync.
Mishera woke up a couple hours before y'all, but he did the thing on like family vacations where you just have to lay there in silence and wait.
I get up and say, "Wakey, wakey, wakey, wakey! It's time for school." But nah, not really. I untuck all the homies until ready for the day.
All right. You do so, and you exit. And you exit from your room back out into the study, and you see the halfling man is already back out in the shelves of books. Perhaps he never left. But after a few moments of just kind of idling in the study, from the same door you came out of, you see Fenria emerge as well. Oh, good morning.
Morning. Oh, sorry, you first.
Hello.
Did you sleep okay?
Ah, splendidly. Oh, goodness. Ernest. Yeah. Did you sleep? No. Oh, God.
Hey, was it Ernest?
Yeah, that's me.
Do you want to come kill something else with us today? I have a feeling we're gonna go kill something today.
What's not feeling?
That's a very peculiar feeling indeed. I think I'm a pass, though.
All right, but let me know if you ever want to come along. You seem like pretty cool.
I mean, what? No, hold on. I can't do what. Hold on. What are you going to go kill then?
Well, I have a feeling we're gonna go track down this hooded woman, and there's probably gonna be another creature or two under her thrall or whatever. You know.
You
Like
know, it's
the-
very astute, isn't it?
I've been around the block, and I know my fair.
Now, hold on. You know more than you're letting on, don't you?
No,
As
no,
an
I'm
bard?
simply an actor, and this reminds me of several fantasy movie plays I've seen.
Movie plays.
Movie plays.
Yeah.
Speaking
Like-
of which, weren't we thinking about checking out the theater before this whole troll shenanigans started?
Oh, right. We were gonna go see Fantasy Blade Runner.
I don't. You know what? Never mind. You guys go have fun. I got works to do, and yes, so do I. Fantasy Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm. It's based on this novel called "Do Warforged Dream of Magic
God.
Sheep?"
Oh no, I did read that. That was a very good one.
You should come. That'd be fun. The four of us.
An interesting take on the story of the rabbi. But yeah, no. Sure. Why not? I can wrap up my things later.
Yeah, awesome. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go to
sure.
the theater.
You guys seem nice. Sorry for assuming you'd have died yesterday, but you would have died if that troll probably had his regenerative abilities. Just letting you know.
Oh, I've accepted that.
You really,
I-
No, we didn't.
you really should be careful about trolls. You know, they're very resilient.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm 1 for 1 on trolls, so.
Fair enough.
Batting 100, you know.
So same. And the door that you came out from your bedroom opens again, and there emerges Hackle Holly, without his hat or like overcoat, but still in like very like just sort of like plainer clothes. He says, "Oh, good morning, all. I trust you slept well."
Like a baby.
Fantastically.
Indeed.
All right. Well, just know that if you do find yourself seeking lodging again, our door is open. It's the least we could do after the help you gave us yesterday. So, is there anything that you need from me?
I guess life direction. Do you have an employment of any sort? We were sort of on like a commission basis before we met you.
Well, I suppose I could find something to commission you for. There are a number of things that I need, just from around the place.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's an errand or going to hunt down another talking thing and killing it, we're good at most everything.
You just said the same thing twice.
Oh, you
Classic
scam,
Ollie.
you scoundrel.
Uh,
I like all of you. I want to live here. Mishiro has been more or less homeless for a lot of his life as he kind of just performs in city squares. So I think he's kind of taken up residence.
Well, if you would like to become, well, I've got my 2 apprentices, of course, these 2. But if you would like to, enter into a more permanent position in and around the house to assist in the acquisition of certain items or components for arcane shenaniganery, do feel free to just reach out. I'd be happy to accommodate you. There's always something to be done.
I insist on taking you to dinner first before any of that, but
I would.
that was a joke. We would love any work.
Of course, but if you like, if you would give me a couple of hours, I could go through some things and see if there's anything I require as of now.
Of course, that sounds excellent. In the meantime, do you fellas want to go see Fantasy Blade Runner with Fenrir?
I would love to see Fantasy Blade Runner with Fenrir.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, sure,
Yes.
I'll go see Fantasy Blade Runner. I'm gonna go see Fantasy Blade Runner. All right, sure, why not?
Oh, 5? 5. All right, 5 is a party. Let's go.
Oh no, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh no, I understood. I thought both Ernest and Fenrir both said they would go.
Oh no, dude, I've said I'm fine.
Hey, I'll pay for your ticket. It's really no big deal. It's really all right.
Nah.
Oh, you're paying
No,
for
it's-
everybody's ticket?
No, this okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. I know how it ends. I've already seen it, mate.
All right. Well, let's go. 4 of us. Come on.
All right. You go out into you exit out from the tall house, and there, looking back at it, it is still indeed that same narrow, very tall house that is very not the building that you were just in, at least in general appearances. And you go back into the town toward the theater, which isn't far from the house you were staying in. And you approach the theater, and you see that there is not, in fact, a showing of Do Warforged Dream of Magical Sheep, the movie, or the
So
play.
sad.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
Man.
What you do see, though, is that there is a kind of bluish complexioned tiefling man, kind of sat bored in the box office.
Hello, my good sir. Do you have any showings of anything interesting at all?
No, unfortunately not.
Nothing at all. Well, what sort of theater has no anything?
Do you want to hear Atva sing?
Yes.
Your funeral. Four of you?
Yes. Yes. I got this one, fellas. What's the cost?
Uh, silver.
A silver. All right. I make sure I have exact change. Yes. All right. I fork over a silver, and I guess we make our way in.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard rave reviews. Excuse me, could you remind me of who's starring in this feature?
Atva is not a feature. She just wants to sing. It's a local theater.
I see.
I thought there was
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you all.
Nothing better to do, and you're paying for it, so why not?
you are paying for it, so
Mm-hmm. And you know what? If it sucks, we can leave.
whoa. Well, let's see what it's about then.
All right, you enter into the theater, and you see that there are a couple of balcony seats just kind of elevated up. You pass by some stairs on your way in, but upon entering the main sort of floor of this theater, you find it is nearly empty. There's like one other person sat on the like very close to the stage on the far right side. There are no other chairs filled.
Hmm. Are they far enough that it would be socially unacceptable to talk to them?
Well, that depends on your definition of socially unacceptable.
Mine's a pretty loose definition.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over once everybody gets seated and talk to this person.
All right. You make your way over, and you see, there's a human, individual who's just kind of got shoulder length, kind of brownish hair, with a very noticeable like undercut. Wearing a fairly nice suit, who's just kind of sat there, waiting for the show to start. It would seem.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to him and say, "Hi, I'm Michero. And you are?"
Oh, the name's Santori.
Hi, Centauri. I have no idea what we're about to witness. Have you heard of this
Adva?
production?
But it's not a production.
Hmm. Well, what is it then? I'm in from out of town. If you have to excuse me.
It's Adva's bi-weekly attempt at opera.
I see.
It's not gonna go.
Well,
If it's so bad, why are you here?
yeah, judging by your sort of expression, seems like you don't like it.
You'd be right.
Well, then why are you here?
I don't know. Sometimes I just sit down here, regardless of what's playing. It just helps me think, I guess.
Well, I'm prepared to offer you some assistance. It seems to me that you just want to get out of the house, and not have to hear. Um,
Well, I
Eh,
can't do
I-
that either. Like, the reason I'm in the seats is because it helps me think. I work here,
Mhm.
so I can't leave.
Right. So how about this? I'm gonna do this just as a favor. If you don't like it, you can wave your hands frantically, and I'll stop. And then I cast deafness on him.
Is
Oh
that a
my
con
God.
save?
Yeah.
Nah, no.
All right.
At first he doesn't register what just happened, but then he goes to speak, and he says something, and then he kind of stops. Yo, what'd you do? Wait, hold on. No, what? No, hold up. I can't. But I can't hear. What'd you do?
Why are you torturing this man?
No, I'm helping him. I find I guess there's not pen and paper. That kind of complicates things. Well, are there pen and paper close by?
Make an investigation check.
All right, I'm gonna make an investigation check. All right, after I've deafened this man, that's a nat 20.
You find no pen
Oh,
and
wow.
paper.
I find no pen and paper.
No.
That's how you're gonna reward my nat 20. Okay.
Just because you got a nat 20 does not change what is or is not in the room.
I think it should. I'm gonna get in this guy's face so he can see my face directly and hope he reads my lips.
Oh my god.
I say, hi. You cannot hear this performance. Is that okay?
He looks or yeah, no, they look confused and they're just Can you fix this? Can you fix this?
I say most certainly, and I end the spell. And I say, all right, I understand how that could have taken you by surprise. But
Yo,
I
don't
thought
do
it would-
that.
Okay.
Hey, bud.
If you change your mind,
Bud, don't do that.
yes. Okay, I will not. I'm sorry. If you change your mind, I can do it again if you need me to.
No.
But, okay, I'm sorry.
Get lost.
All right, I'm gonna go
Oh,
back to my
man.
seat.
And
Jeez.
and this individual, after you leave, scoots one chair over.
All right.
And you rejoin your friends at their seats, and after maybe about a couple minutes or so of just staring at an empty stage, you see walking from stage left is an older, like middle-aged-ish Goliath woman in a very, very nice, well, fancy but gaudy dress with very noticeable earrings. She stands on stage in silence for a second, takes a deep inhale. You hear like this awful sound just come out of her mouth, like if you could imagine a chain smoker trying to do Carmen, this would be that.
Oh man.
It's like her voice is very gruff. She is tone deaf and does not seem to notice.
I cast deafness on myself.
I admire her confidence.
All right, you cast deafness on yourself, and choosing to fail, it succeeds.
All right, cool. That was mostly a joke, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna commit to that.
Oh man.
And yeah, actually, for those of you who can still hear, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Oh, did I just save?
I got an 8.
An 8.
An 8.
17.
17. All right, Hichuitsu, you're grimacing, but you're able to withstand this performance. Meanwhile, Fenria and Burroughs both, maybe about 10 minutes in, you'd start to develop a nasty headache.
Sick.
Like this sort of throbbing, just pounding headache that begins to overtake you as this performance goes into its 10th minute, then its 20th minute, and then it's half of an hour, and it goes on for way longer than you think it should.
Could we choose to leave at any point, or are we like rooted to our spot?
No, this isn't the magic chair of the troll's hut. You are able to leave, but the question is, do you?
But what?
I would like to leave.
All right, you stand and very conspicuously walk out of the theater, and Fenrir follows suit. And as you do so, the performance does not waver.
Jesus.
I imagine I'm in my own headspace, just kind of thinking
Yeah, you just kind of zoned out over there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just vibing.
Let's see how long.
I'm good with
Let's
that.
see how long silence lasts, or deafen rather.
Deafen lasts. Since I have to make a saving throw at the end of my turn, I'm guessing that I'm
It
gonna
lasts
choose
for
to
a
fail.
minute.
What?
Yup.
Oh, it does. Oh no.
Con save.
Oh no. That's a 16.
16.
no.
Okay, you're able to. You're like after a minute of blissful silence, your hearing just kind of slowly fades back in, and you hear this awful grinding noise, and you're not sure what it is because you've zoned out, and then it grows loud enough that you look back to the stage and you think, oh dear gods, she's where this sound is coming from. Oh no. And you're able to stave off the migraine, but your face just kind of instinctively contorts into this cringe.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I turn to Hitoitsu and I say over the din, "How are you doing, buddy?"
Well, I've heard worse things in my life, but not to say that I'm enjoying this.
Pray tell, what have you heard that's worse?
Well, when you live out in the country like me and you mess with dead bodies for a living, you get to hearing some things that you might not want to hear, you know?
I am incredibly curious, but this is a
And
story for another time.
concerned.
Concerned, mostly worried. We can talk about this later. Do you think this is unnatural? I kind of came to this. I wasn't initially exposed. I'm worried about her.
The only reason I'm still here is because you bought my ticket, and I thought it would be awfully rude to walk out like our friend did a while ago.
Meanwhile, Burroughs,
Cut
as
to.
you exit the theater with Fenrir, you walk past the box office again, and the tiefling man, as you go, he says, "Told you."
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Kudos, though, you lasted longer than most people.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
Who likes this stuff?
The one singing it.
I guess, yeah. Say, Fenrir, what do you usually do on a day like this when you're not suffering at the hands of that?
That was some noise. I
Mm-hmm.
quietly read. And I'm appreciating that pastime more than ever now.
Wow. What work do you have left to do with Holly and Co?
Well, I disposed of the troll corpse last night. that thing started to smell during that process as well. So that was something. But right now, my job is research, just kind of into figures such as those, of just hooded, clandestine figures, offering up bargains.
Of course, the usual stuff.
The usual. You ever spoken with a warlock? Yeah.
I can't say I have, but I would love to hear more about your clandestine hooded figures.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Hooded figures, not uncommon. So this isn't. Needless to say, we've got a lot of bases to cover. So
you just research anyone wearing a hood?
Well, no, not really. There are entities or creatures that we are aware of that are somewhat defined by their hoods. Almost, there are just typical epithets like the Veiled One, or other kinds of figures like that. Is that? Yeah, I don't know. In my experience, the kind of yeah, I don't know how much you know about other kinds of things that exist in the world, but there are a lot of things, and stuff gets complicated a lot.
There are other things, and stuff gets complicated a lot.
When you start dealing with the Fae and the Fiends and the demons and the
Gotcha. How have you been dealing with these for long? Have you encountered other things that give things to trolls?
Well, no, not this specifically, but there are entities out there that offer bargains. Typically, fiends or fae will often bestow gifts upon those seeking to sell their souls or servitude or other kinds of things like that. But in the case of our troll here, it would appear what he sold was in fact his regenerative properties. Though the extent to which he was aware of this fact is unknown.
Interesting. So he didn't know he was selling his regenerative abilities when he sold his regenerative abilities.
No.
Interesting. How long have you been working with the mystery house down there?
A few years now. I'm an apprentice with Ernest to Holly.
And when you sleep, you notice how the window doesn't match the outside.
Well, yeah, it's not. Well, yeah.
What's that about? How's that work?
Well, that's just because the house is here, but the inside of the house isn't here. If that makes sense.
I'm gonna need you to explain that a little bit more, please.
So
I'm not a
the physical building of that house. You notice that it's larger on the inside than it looks on the outside.
I did. I picked up on that. Yes.
Well, the reason for that is that there's an enchantment. Well, not an enchantment, rather. That house was once a conjured object that serves as it's essentially a little pocket dimension in which we can live.
Like a house-sized bag of holding.
Yes, actually, that's a very apt way of putting it. Except you can actually breathe in this one.
That is a good thing.
Very.
I've heard.
Can I
Meanwhile,
fire in here for a second? Yeah. Inside, I think I've come up with a plan.
all right.
I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
You're gonna heckle this
I
poor woman?
thought you were a good person.
I am a good person, and I've kind of, after sitting here long enough, I've gathered that it's a benefit to humanity to help her stop.
It's the net good.
Yeah, it is. It is the net good, not necessarily by my means, but the end.
Jeez.
Okay, so you're
Um,
casting vicious mockery upon Adva.
This
Now,
rules.
now this is gonna hurt her, so I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
Oh my.
Let's see how
gosh.
this goes.
This
So
rules.
that's a wisdom save, yes.
It is.
Okay. How's a 17?
That does check. Let's see what she knows when she passes. I think if it succeeds, nothing happens.
Yeah, because
but
it's a cantrip.
right. But we're not in combat, so I think I'm gonna do it again.
All right. So, all right, this one's a 9.
Not. And she takes 1 damage. Minimum damage.
What do you say to her?
That's. You should reconsider your career. You seem like a lovely person, but the stage is not your friend.
Okay. And you see her, like, make a perception check.
That is a nat 20. I'm not joking.
All right.
I wish I could lie.
You're looking at her as you say this thing, and you see her kind of falter a little bit, like her face begins to grimace, but the singing continues
Oh no.
with more
I lean over.
ferocity.
Oh no.
It's become a bit more vicious and harsh. This performance.
Chase, cast it again. Tell her seeing something like a window closing on a cat's tail.
Oh no.
I think what I'm gonna do instead is No, that doesn't do what I want it to do. Yeah, I think when is the show over? It's kind of going on forever, right?
As of now, it's been going for about 50 minutes.
So not even long enough to like go back and get like a real job. Okay.
Jeez.
You know, I want to stay in this scene and mess with her more, but I don't feel like there's anything I can do that's not just straight up assaulting her.
And I will tell you, she has 4 hit points.
What was that?
She has 4 hit points.
You almost killed a woman.
She's half alive. She's.
Why did you let? I wish
You could well have killed her with a single die roll.
Just accidentally do murder.
So she's at like 75% of her whole life.
Yes.
Like, she's never felt this bad, and she's singing harder.
She rolled a heck of a con save.
I think I'm just gonna leave.
All right, you get up and leave. Hizuitsu, do you follow suit?
Yeah, I follow, but I'll remember that like the Telltale game.
All right, you guys exit out the theater, and as
You
you
assaulted someone.
and as you go, the tiefling man, in the booth, says, "So, what did you think?"
God awful. God's awful.
Precisely. No refunds.
Does she see any fans after the show?
Yo.
Well, considering that you all left, no.
How much is it for one person to get in?
Please. No.
About 3 copper.
3 copper? I can't go back in.
Go back in.
Yeah, okay. Who else wants to go back in?
Not me.
Just you.
Wait. Wait, Kenan.
Yeah.
Is there a flower shop nearby?
Oh my god.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Yes, sir. That is a 12.
12. You don't find any specific florists, but kind of just like planted in the middle of the like in the middle of the road as a sort of just town decorum. There's a rose bush.
Okay. I pick as many roses as I pick a dozen roses off of it. I leave 10 copper in its place, and I run back to the doorman.
All
I
right.
hand him 3 copper, and I enter the theater.
You already paid for your ticket. You don't need it. Well, I won't argue. And he takes the 3 copper.
Okay. I run back down the aisle, and I sit in a different seat.
Oh my gosh! Why are you harassing this poor?
I just feel like there's something she can tell us. Like, I don't know why she's singing so badly. I'm into this now. Like,
You're gonna kill. She's just doing this for fun. This is a hobby, and you're gonna kill her.
Just you're gonna kill a woman.
Yes.
sit here until the performance ends. How long will that take?
Oh
Well,
my
who's to
gosh.
say? You sit down for the performance, and it continues. As of now, it's been going for about an hour 10,
Okay.
and it goes for 20
Um,
minutes more until, after an hour and a half, she stops singing.
I stand up and I give a thunderous, wave of applause. I just lose my mind. It's beautiful.
It's been cool
I'm
now.
Heckled her. You just heckled a lot.
heckling her. I
You didn't heckle her. You physically harmed her.
I did.
No, he mentally
did.
harmed her.
I
Well,
did.
you.
Jeez.
I'm guessing it's apparent that I'm the only one standing and clapping. I run to the stage with the flowers in hand.
All right, you do so. Make a persuasion check for me.
Okay. That's a 18.
18.
And I say, darling, that was beautiful. That was gorgeous. You have the voice of an angel. Where did you learn to sing like this?
Now hold on, I remember you, the one who told me that the stage is not kind to me. But how can a girl say no to a little bit of flowers?
Madam, I forgive me. I was wrong. I didn't understand the art.
Of
get it
course,
now.
few
I
people
get it.
do. There's so few people of culture these days.
And madam, you would know culture.
That I do.
Why don't you and me get out of here?
Ooh, well, aren't you just a little charmer? Alright, and she exits stage right and emerges kind of in a door from a doorway toward the front of the room. And the human individual who sat in the chairs is just kind of idly staring off into space. And as she goes, Atva just kind of slaps them upside the head. And approaches you, and she says, "All right, you ready to go, pint size?"
Oh, please. What was your? I didn't think I'd get this far. Say you and me.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go. I'd love to introduce you to my friends there out front.
Please don't.
No, I'd be delighted. And and she kind of takes your arm. She's this woman is very tall, about 7-ish feet tall.
Right,
She's a Goliath woman. Goliath are giantkin. So she's not really taking your arm in hers per se, but she is kind of walking alongside you in such a manner. and you exit out of the theater to see your friends standing there, Fenria, Burroughs, and Hitoitsu. And the door and the box office worker is just like, "Oh, well, how did it go?" And she's just like, "I shove off." She says, "Now I recognize these three from the audience. Who are they then?"
Madam, they are purveyors of the arts like myself, but they did not understand the performance you gave, and I command the three of you, please apologize.
Right,
I'm not
you
gonna do
should.
What, bro? What?
I just wink. Like,
I pretend that somebody cast deafness on me.
forgive my friend here. He's hard of hearing. I'm not sure why I brought him to a recital. But...
Well, I'll try to sing loud for the hard of hearing folk.
Oh
Good
my
God.
gosh.
I don't want to
Well, I'm
discriminate,
sure.
of course.
So
I'm sure.
kind.
I'm sure he would appreciate it. Madam, what say we find a cafe somewhere private and have a conversation?
What?
Of course, with my friends here. Of course.
Are you gonna romance this? Okay.
I want to know why she sings so badly, but I want to be nice about it.
Well, aren't you the little charmer? I'd be more than happy to. But what have these miscreants got to come with? They aren't fellow people of culture. You said so yourself.
Say, Fenria, don't we have some hooded figures to go investigate? You want us to come with
Yes,
you about?
we do. That
Do you
is
mind if I,
such a
tag
good
along?
point.
Pretty please.
I've got-
Pretty please.
Oh, I've got to go stare into the abyss some. Oh, so much to do.
Tweets has always been passionate about hooded figures. He would love it if you would invite him as well.
Pretty please. I'm begging.
Please,
Well, I
by all
wouldn't mind.
means, come
Some-
along. Everyone,
I wouldn't-
flee.
I'm gonna turn to her and take her hands in mine. I'm gonna
You're
try
having to reach
get
up
on my
somewhat.
tiptoes. Yeah, I'm gonna get up on my tiptoes and look her in the eye, and I'm gonna say, "Madam, you have
Yes,
the
sir.
worst sounding voice I've heard in my life," and I cast vicious
Oh
mockery.
my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 17.
A 17.
Hey, you're gonna kill this woman.
She succeeded. I mean, she's fine. I just run.
How is a
So you should
14
finish
versus
the
your
job.
armor class?
A 14 does hit.
Okay, so you say that and you turn to flee, but she gets an opportunity attack, and as you turn to go,
She
she
does.
what would have been a slap across the cheek is just like a hard like smack across the back of the head, and you take 3 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my gosh.
Take it. I stumble
As this
and
deceptively
I keep on my way.
strong as this deceptively strong woman just like pounds you on the back of the head.
It's insane.
I deserve it. I am I'm done.
Just
Cool. Let's
How
leave.
dare
Murder at
you.
this point.
How
Finish
dare
it, man.
you
She's
build
gonna
up
be
my
here if we come back.
expectations? Never come back to one of
Madam-
my shows.
I don't plan on it.
You aren't welcome in
Um,
this theater.
Oh man.
Her voice has changed.
I'm not sure
somewhat,
you are
and I
either,
can't-
madam.
Her voice has changed somewhat, and
Alright.
I can't place where.
Let's get out of here. I'm sorry for extending that.
No, this is good. This is funny.
This is incredible.
All right, you flee. In
I did
which
kind of want to
direction?
just drop her, but that was murder. I
It
guess
would've
back
been
to the
funny.
tower.
All right, you head back to the tall house. And Fenria opens the door, lets you all in, and then slams it shut behind her. Whew, gods. What were you thinking?
Well, I felt as if her singing was almost sinisterly bad. I kind of wanted to just. I like the fact that she wasn't some sort of ne'er-do-well. Did you hear her? It was rough.
No, I did.
That was a
I
ne'er-do-well.
heard her. You don't need to tell me.
It was almost a form of some sort of psychological warfare.
Yes.
I would argue.
Yes, very much so. All I can say is that I'm glad you paid for my ticket.
Of course, I'm always happy. Always happy. And think of the memories we have now. I verbally assaulted a woman twice, built her up, and then broke her down. Yeah, and I have to live with that forever. Looking back, my brightest moment, but here we are.
Right. Oh, God. And it went for so long, too.
By my count, 90 minutes.
Outrageous. That shouldn't be allowed.
I think the conventions of the good kingdom of Geneva have outlawed it somewhere.
God.
I've not heard of the place, but I'd like to live there. Alright. I've got work to do. Not that this hasn't been just peachy, but I've got work to do.
Peachy's a word. I guess we should go talk to Holly about work.
Oh yeah, that. And she goes back into the study, and Ernest, who's kind of sat down in one of the chairs, a chair that, for his halfling form, he kind of looks like a small child almost, kind of sat down in like this comically outsized chair for him. He says, "So how'd that go?"
Rough.
Was the
Bad.
production bad?
Yes.
And how'd they screw up the Warforged?
There was no Warforged. Though I kind of want to die.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Anyway, Hawley's up in the observatory. If you want to go talk to him, he said he's got a job for you.
Oh, I appreciate it, Ernest. And you know, one day I'll go take you to go see the real fantasy movie, not that.
All right, sure.
Right, let's go talk to Holly. I'm sorry.
All right, see ya. It's the fire
Bye.
door on the right.
Hey.
And approaching the door, you open it and you see that there is a spiral staircase leading up. What appears to be this kind of spire addendum to this house. And lined upon the walls are little alcoves in which rest various plants of all kinds. Like you see a few like notable pitcher plants and other kinds of things. But and a lot of them you don't recognize. But there are a lot of plants that are lining the walls of this spire kind of environment. But the staircase leads up in a spiral.
So is Holly up the stairs as far as we can tell? He's not visible.
He's not visible to you currently.
Okay. I guess we should go up.
All right. You go up. You ascend the staircase, and it takes you a good few minutes to actually reach the top. And there's a kind of trap door at the top of the staircase that you swing open, and it goes and it swings open kind of up and down onto the floor of another room.
I'm gonna swing open the trap door and just shout out a hello.
Ah, yes. Come on in.
Nice place you got here. A nice sort of tower keep sort of energy.
Yes, and as you enter up and into and through this trap door, you see that this is Holly is sat down at a chair and looking into this huge telescope that is aimed kind of at the ceiling of this room, at which itself appears to, like, you looking up at the ceiling, you see there is this, like, kind of off in the distance, a massive conflict of some kind. The grounds upon which being fought are fire and brimstone. Like, you get like you're not there, but you could swear you could smell sulfur, and you see like hordes upon hordes of soldiers of you're not sure what kind, just slamming into each other with all the animosity possible. And he says, "Just a moment, I'm having to keep an eye on this one."
And this is a battle?
Oh yes, been going on since almost the beginning of time. The blood war between the hells and the abyss. Have to make sure it stays where it's supposed to, and doesn't spill over into the world.
Huh.
Can I make a history check to see if I'm aware?
This would be Arcana.
Okay. It's a 17.
17. You like in your you're not sure where you heard it. It was probably just like a sort of passing reference in a book you read once, maybe as kind of like a descriptive metaphor. But you have heard of a blood war of some kind.
Oh. Don't know much about that, but seems like interesting entertainment.
Depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Eye of the beholder and all that. And he stands up from the chair, and the scene that you see being played out on the ceiling of this room just sort of fades out, and you see that same sort of black starred expanse that you would see out the window of your room. So, you said you were looking for work?
Oh yes, please. Anything to
Splendid.
take our minds off of that.
Splendid. Because I think I've got a job for you. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Oh.
Thank you all for
Right.
listening to this episode of D90.5, WUOG's own Dungeons & Dragons broadcast.
Yay.
Thank you.
Clap, clap,
Bye.
clap, 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 clap.
Bye.
Bye.